Good morning to all. Thank you very much for taking the time from your busy schedule just to be with us today. Let me share with you what the end of school year reading program is all about. Now, as we near the culmination of yet another school year, the goal of exploring more ways to enrich the reading experience of our students does not end. And so we are here today to mark this understanding that reading is indeed important regardless of time. Reading is a foundational skill that serves as a gateway to all learning areas. It is the cornerstone of a child's academic success, influencing their ability to understand and engage with the curriculum, participate effectively in classroom activities, and foster a lifelong love for learning. Likewise, a gateway to imagination and a catalyst for growth. It is through reading that our students gain knowledge, empathy, and a deeper understanding of the world around them. However, due to the strike of the COVID-19 pandemic, this induced a great impact on the learning of our learners. It caused a big shift to remote learning that significantly affected the reading proficiency among our Filipino learners. A study conducted by the Stanford Graduate School of Education found that the growth of reading skills largely stalled in 2020 due to the abrupt school closures brought by the pandemic. The effects of the pandemic on reading skills was particularly pronounced among second and third graders, with their reading fluency now approximately 30% behind what would be expected in a typical year. This disruption to reading skills development was also not equitable across all student populations, with low achievers developing reading skills at a much slower rate than their counterparts. This is often due to factors such as lack of access to computers, reliable internet access, or a parent at home. Now, given the fundamental role that reading plays in academic development across all disciplines, these losses can interfere with students' ability to learn other subjects as they progress through their schooling. Hence, the Department of Education concedes initiatives to address this learning loss, and one of which is the end of school year reading program. So the end of school year reading program serves as a jumpstart of the National Reading Program, which will be starting in the next academic year. This aims to facilitate a platform that will help bridge the gap in reading, ensuring that learners are equipped with the necessary foundational reading skills commensurate with their grade level. And in order to achieve this aim, in the next slide illustrates the design and implementation of the end of school year reading program, which begins with a diagnostic assessment through the Comprehensive Rapid Literacy Assessment, or the CRLA. The CRLA assesses the individual reading ability of learners participating in the program. So this is a 5 to 8 minute standard rapid assessment that is designed to classify learners according to the following reading profiles. We have the full refresher, moderate refresher, light refresher, and grade ready. Incoming grades 1 to 3 learners shall take the CRLA before the end of the school year 2022-2023, and learners who are classified as grade ready shall be exempted from this reading program. However, learners who are classified as in need of a light refresher will undergo the 3-week curriculum, while those who need moderate and full refreshers shall undergo the 5-week curriculum. Now, for regions that have administered the end of school year comprehensive rapid literacy assessment, the results of this assessment tool shall be the basis of determining the reading profiles of grades 1 and 2 completers for school year 2022-2023. On the other hand, all kindergarten completers of school year 2022-2023 from these regions will undergo the grade 1 beginning of school year comprehensive rapid literacy assessment to determine their reading profiles. At the end of the reading program, these regions may adopt the assessment tool that is most appropriate in the context of their schools and learners. The 3- and 5-week reading program utilizes a customized set of curriculum guides developed according to the learner's needs. Baseline competencies were anchored from the K-12 curriculum guides and most essential learning competencies, or the MELCs, of the language learning areas, focusing on alphabet knowledge, phonological awareness, and decoding. Other learning domains were also accounted for to ensure a holistic approach to literacy development. Hence, the content of the curriculum evolves around letter sounds, rhyming words, syllables, word recognition, sight words, and phrase reading. All these are based on the learner's first language to effectively package the reading experience while considering other domains of literacy such as the oral language, vocabulary, reading comprehension, writing, and composing. Now, after 3 to 5 weeks, learners shall be assessed again using the same tool to analyze the learner's progress and further need. So the curriculum for the end of school year reading program was developed based on the K-12 curriculum guides and the most essential learning competencies of the language learning areas from grades 1 to quarter 1 of grade 3. Okay, or from grade 1 to quarter 1 of grade 3. Standard competencies were identified as indicators of specific skills and were utilized in the development of the emerging, not only the emerging, but the developing and transitioning curriculum. The emerging curriculum targets specific competencies and skills set on the mastery of phonological awareness and alphabet knowledge. This shall ensure that learners who are classified as grade 1 full and moderate refresher, grade 2 full refresher, and grade 3 full refresher shall be given instruction on previous grade level concepts and skills to meet the expected competency as beginning readers. Learners shall acquire the necessary literacy content in 15 90-minute sessions per day that focus on the mother tongue to enable them to cope with instruction and understanding. The developing curriculum targets specific competencies, not only competencies and skill. We call this the skill sets on alphabet knowledge and phonics instruction, leading to the mastery of word recognition. Learners who are classified as grade 1 light refresher, grade 2 moderate refresher, and grade 3 moderate refresher shall encounter more drills in word reading focusing on learners' mother tongue. There shall be 15 90-minute sessions per day of reading instruction. The transitioning curriculum targets the more complex literacy concepts or competencies and skills that focus on word recognition and phrase reading. Learners in this cluster are classified as grade 2 light refresher and grade 3 light refresher and shall undergo 9 90-minute sessions per day. Since these learners already have a firm grasp of the previous grade level concepts and skills, learners shall undergo more reading drills to improve accuracy. Okay, in the next slide, we'll show you the sample emerging curriculum. And here you can see the expected learning competencies and specific learning objectives targeted per week. Now in the next slide, in this program, The emerging and developing curriculum are crafted for 5 weeks, while the transitioning curriculum is for 3 weeks. Each curriculum has a corresponding lesson guide where the scope and sequence of the topics and lesson objectives are indicated. So this will serve as a guide for the teachers in the appropriate reading intervention to be given to the classified set of learners. Furthermore, it is also in these lesson guides that the learning resources are specified. Likewise, the lesson guides were developed for each of the 19 language groups and were divided into 3 clusters based on the reading program curriculum. The lesson guides are labeled as Emerging Lesson Guide, Developing Lesson Guide, and Transitioning Lesson Guide. Each lesson guide presents a distinct sequence of the alphabet based on the orthography of the specified mother tongue, and that literacy domains that need to be mastered by the learners were also identified accordingly based on the reading profile. Now for the next slide, we can see here the sample lesson guide. I think this is for Ibanag under the emerging curriculum. Please take note that the lesson guides are contextualized in the sense that the scope and sequence of topics to be discussed, particularly in the literacy domain, focus on the distinct sequence of letters in the specific mother tongue. Now let's also talk about the time allotment. The class size at the end of the school year reading program is prescribed with a maximum of 1:25 teacher-pupil ratio. Each session shall last for 90 minutes and shall be held on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Now for Mondays and Fridays, they shall be allotted for the planning and preparation of materials as well as the review or evaluation of learners' progress and performance. In the next slide, we can see the suggested class schedule for the duration of the end of the school year reading program. So as you can see, the majority of the time in class will be dedicated to activities that will enhance the learner's interest to genuinely love reading. Learners will be exposed to storytelling sessions to develop comprehension skills. Now, plunging into the daily activities, it is also critical to put into consideration the different school and class sizes. Therefore, the following models are suggested. These are only suggestions. The following models are suggested for organizing classes in the reading program. The school head may adopt any of the suggested mechanisms to ensure that all learners are properly accommodated. Moreover, the school head may also modify the suggested organization to fit the needs of the school and its learners. And to further allow the students to experience reading holistically, the following slides will show the different delivery models that may be utilized by the teachers. And learners will be exposed to guided oral language activities and independent work through accomplishing worksheets. Thus, this applies the beauty of differentiated instruction to target the needs of the learners according to their reading abilities. Now, the organization of learners' reading profiles will be the basis for the adaptation of different learning and instruction strategies. These suggested models are vital to highlight the importance of teachers' feedback on learners' performance, not only for performance, but also progress, to allow learners to further understand the reading experience. And in the delivery of instruction, it is important that school heads will strategize. Now, it is equally important to know the resources that both the teachers and the learners will receive to supplement the school year, at the end of school year reading program. For the learners, there will be activity sheets that will be distributed among them. A maximum of 5 activity sheets are expected to be accomplished by each learner in each session. These activity sheets are tailored to fit the learner's reading levels based on their reading profiles. And similarly, all teachers will receive resources such as a copy of the curriculum and lesson guides, and the curriculum specifies the target skills and competencies in early literacy domains. Thus, this will be the teacher's projection and basis of the proper reading intervention to be given to the reading ability of the learners regardless of their age or of their grade level. On the other hand, there will also be lesson guides that contain the scope and sequence as well as specific objectives of the topics related to literacy domains. All these resources have been uploaded to a Google Drive link where each region was given access to download. And for the allocation, overall, the EoSY reading program has the following allocation. Let me see, do we have already on the slide? Each teacher for the end of school year reading program shall be given printed copies of the curriculum, including a lesson guide that is contextualized per language group. Learners, on the other hand, will receive 5 activity sheets per day, which is equivalent to an average of 65 activity sheets. And flashed on the screen, can we see that on the screen, are the hosting parameters that must all take note of. And this will be the basis of the appropriation of budget for the materials needed in this EoSY reading program. And for the information of everyone, the guidelines on the utilization of the support fund to regional offices for the resources for this program has already been released. So please take note of this, wherein a certain budget is allocated for each region for the development or for the printing of these resources, including the activity sheets, the lesson guides, and the sample lesson maps. Okay, now let me give you some reminders. At this point, let me give you some of the important reminders in this end of school year reading program. Number 1, okay, please take note of these reminders. The results of the CRLA must be immediately encoded in the digital dashboards by the respective teachers. These results shall be used for monitoring and evaluation of the program. Number 2, this program is not graded. Therefore, assessments in the EoSY reading program are given to check the mastery of learners in preparation for reading instruction in the coming school year. Number 3, all activity sheets will be collected and compiled, which will be another basis for assessment. Portfolios shall serve as evidence of learners' progress in the duration of the EoSY reading program and will serve as proof of feedback to parents. Number 4, the regional and division offices shall ensure efficient and effective implementation of the EoSY reading program, and processes, strategies, and standards of this EoSY reading program are monitored by the responsible bureaus and offices to gather feedback on the implementation of the program. Number 5, all the results of the CRLA will serve as data that will be thoroughly analyzed and utilized by benchmarking or utilized for benchmarking in the succeeding implementation and sustainability of programs related to reading intervention. So with that, I have to end my presentation. Thank you very much and have a good day.